I think I hit a wall with the last one. So that means this can be the beginning of chapter 30. This will come out when Miriam is in New York City. I'll be home with Nora, and then we'll be in Calgary a few days afterward. One of the big struggles with writing is the patience of it all. I think of what I wrote in the beginning of this project, to want to rush ahead, to finish these things. The pressure is constantly there. The need to be productive, I suppose. I wanted to talk about my cat and the attachment I had to him. I don't know how to describe it exactly. The love I feel towards my cat far exceeds that of others in a specific way. Of the expectation of trying to receive love from people in a way, and never being able to get it, not in the way that you want or feel like you need. But an animal, you're able to love them in a way that's complete. And it is for nothing but the honest companionship on our end. And for theirs, it is survival. That dynamic seems to work for us. When my dad was diagnosed with brain cancer, I was in bed with COVID. Nora was only 6 months old, and I was quarantining in my room. It was a strange aloneness. It was the first chapter of this book. I feel like I wrote nothing. I couldn't sleep. I was flooded with memories of my dad, of who he was to me. It was like the story of that needed to form and fit in to this new context. I lay in bed confusing the sickness I felt with the sadness I felt. I would cry and I thought of things that seemed so insignificantly, infinitesimally small. And I remember one night when I felt about as empty and low and purely sad. The door cracked open and there was my cat. He jumped on the bed and he sat against me and slept, and I slept. When I think of him, that cat, my heart begins to ache in what he means to me and the attachment I have to him, in the ways he has allowed me to heal. The times we've spent together, sitting and reading, writing every morning, how annoying and crazy he can be. I feel as though truly he is the best friend I've ever had. When we leave to go visit my dad, he will stay home here. I am sad and anxious about it. I've been thinking about him constantly. I wish we didn't have to leave him here. I hope that he will be okay. I don't want him to be alone, and I'm trying to understand in what ways am I projecting my own emotions through him. He will be home with Yaya. She always watches over him and feeds him his meals. I sometimes think it would be easier if I died before my cat, so I wouldn't have to endure his loss. And if that happens, I ask that she won't bury me until his time comes. You can put him in the casket with me before we go into the ground. This will be the last writing in this book. I'll use it for chapter 30. I'm grateful to this book. It has served me very well. I'm grateful for that. Power outage. We were in traffic for an hour and a half. All downtown, no power, rain, big storm all afternoon, all morning. Went to the condo. The meeting went over well enough. I think they seem like good people. It seems like this pen is on its way out. I don't love this notebook. It feels a bit rustic or something, and I'm not used to the lines on the page. I'll have to go back and order another one that's like the last one, or choose a different one or something. It's the lines. They annoy me. I suppose I can just ignore them, but that's a bit weird to do as well. I'm tired and kind of irritated. The strangeness of this notebook. Maybe it's the soft edge that I don't love. I'll see what other books I have. Maybe this is a bit better. I think I'm against lined pages at this point. So I'll go through this book and then have to get another. But I feel depleted at the moment. I began editing at 5 in the morning. Maybe I'm tired. I feel like that other pen isn't right on this paper either. I feel uncomfortable. It seems I'm not doing my best work at the moment. I'll have to come back to it throughout the day. I put Mouse outside. I looked at books online. I said hi to Nora. She wanted her fox toy. She hugged it and smiled. I suppose it's something about writing I'm thinking about, the frustration of it, not knowing what is next, the discomfort that seems to build momentum in a way. I will go downstairs now. Yaya broke some glass in the kitchen and said she doesn't have her contacts in. I'll go clean it before Nora comes down. We picked up a high chair for Nora. It folds up and can be used on the plane. I stood with the car. Miriam crossed the street, and the woman came down and gave her the thing. She was holding her baby, and then another little girl appeared in the doorway, and then another one. Little ducklings. It seems this uni-ball pen is almost dead, so I brought a backup one. After I finish my coffee, I'll go down the road and buy a new pen. These uni-ball pens, the Vision, the .7 gray one, it's very classic to me. When we were kids, they were the nicest pens we could access, and we used them for inking our comic books, so I have a feeling of sentimentality towards them. This one's the uni-ball Echo. It is the backup pen I brought since I know that one was going to die, and it seems this one may die too. My friend Cynthia moved out to the island and sent me a video of people dancing at a Beatles tribute concert, but they were playing CCR, Have You Ever Seen the Rain? They swayed effortlessly in a way that I thought I would need many treatments of electroshock therapy to do. I do not have this swaying easiness. The cop car zoomed past with its lights blaring. I see no reason why they would be after me. I would be very surprised if I went to jail. Perhaps I should go to jail for being an asshole in general, for not exercising enough, or for being too antisocial. I spent a long time in the bookstore. I got a bunch of things I've been looking at for a while. I shouldn't get any more books for a while. To own books, it's an addiction of sorts, a luxury. You can get everything from the library. It will not make me a better writer to own books, or to get new pens. It was fun, that's all. Now to focus on not buying things, instead to focus on work. I went to A&W afterward and talked to Miriam on the phone while I ate a burger and fries. Really, that was a good afternoon out. I went and wrote in the coffee shop. I went to the bookstore. I ate a hamburger. That's about the most fun I could have in that context. To be who I am in the most strict way possible. That doesn't mean to be indulgent to my base instincts or to be a hedonist at every turn. It is to align my actions with what I believe to be right. I'm not sure in this chapter if I've come across any ideas that are too novel or remarkable. We may go to the mall today. Miriam said, I can come if I want to, but she doesn't need me to. This decision seems prevalent in my mind somehow. I feel like I should go for the family time. I don't know why. There's nothing there for me. In a way, I imagine ending this section on this note, this dilemma. Do I really stay home and write, or do I go to the mall where I'm not needed, but to spend the time with Nora and Miriam? Woke up early today at 4, tried to edit everything again. Doesn't seem like it's working. It's the first time I wrote everything by hand for the whole chapter. Maybe I'll read it all out as it is and edit the way I used to when I started this thing. No rewriting, just cutting what doesn't work and leaving what does. I feel some pressure, this being the end of part 3, like I should say something, like I should be at some kind of climax or realization, but I'm still here as I was, trying to sort it out in a way, as lost as ever. Appreciate that. Frustrating as it can be, as impatient as I am, so maybe I'll just go with the original draft to see what's there. No rewrite.